maybe I should introduce myself. Next up on stage is Jon Mew. They told me not to say one of the best-looking guys in mobile, because apparently it's not true. But anyway, right, so I'm going to talk about the final five, and what that means for consumers and marketers. And what do I mean by the final five? Well, mobile is the only device that's with you for the final five of anything you do. So the final 5 seconds when you're thinking what product to buy, the final 5 meters when you're queuing at the checkout, whatever that final 5 thing is, mobile's always there, and it's always there to capture the moments that make a big difference. Much like Ian, I wanted to share a picture of my children to hopefully get you to like me. I'm not sure that's going to work, but hopefully what it also shows is that, mobile, we heard today what a personal device it is, and it's there to capture those moments that are really personal to you. This is the day my daughter came home from hospital, the day she was born. And for me, I look back at the picture, and it's mainly the memory, really, that sticks with it, of being incredibly nervous about how a big brother was going to react to having a little sister, and then feeling incredibly relieved and proud at how well they got on, and they still get on 2.5 years later, generally. It's also there to capture the special moments at work, like this Friday afternoon. Stuart, who runs our audio council, tried out his theremin app and broke our hi-fi. Sorry about that. That was the last time the hi-fi could be used, genuinely broken by mobile. And this, one of my favourite ever moments from a work party, was the Seltra Summer Party. We took a picture of Jonathan from Seltra and Emily from Bounty. And thank you for being good sports and letting us share this, everyone that's involved in this picture. Face swap, if you haven't used it before, swaps over people's faces. We took a picture of these two and thought, obviously their faces are swapped over. Where's Jonathan's face gone? And then we realised that seems to have brought a third person into the equation, creating what can only be described as the kind of thing you wouldn't want to meet in a dark alley, or certainly in anywhere with daylight or light, which is, just in case you can't see, I've actually had a year's worth of enjoyment of this, showing it to people that don't even know these people, that think it's absolutely hilarious. If you haven't used Face Swap, you must try it, because whatever combination you use, it's just brilliant. So we've heard a lot today, actually, about, consumers don't think about online and offline, really. They don't really think about mobile and online. They definitely don't think about the problems you might have as a brand in getting stuff to work on mobile. As far as the consumer is concerned now, if it doesn't work on mobile, it just doesn't work. But actually, although consumers might not really think about the differences for mobile, we've also heard today about, actually, there are some differences with mobile, and I think, as we've heard already, mobility is one of those key things. I tried to look at a picture to represent, what mobility means. I typed it into Google Images. Unfortunately, the pictures I got weren't quite along the lines of what I was thinking. But thankfully, Sarah Mansfield, the Unilever media director, said this, which kind of does represent it a lot better, when she kindly came to one of our board meetings. And that's that, Unilever essentially operate in low interest categories. So the most important thing for them is to get people thinking about them when they go through the door. And, Unilever, Mondelez, P&G are masters of doing this through above the line advertising, right? But actually, you sit and think about it and you think, well, actually mobile gives me a unique opportunity to be able to make this happen, and a unique opportunity to get people to think about me in the final 5 when they're in store. But actually, if you're a retailer, what does that mean for me? Actually, is this good? Is this bad? Is it a threat or not? This is Amazon Flow, which is an amazing piece of tech, right? You literally hover your phone over a product. You can see someone here doing it in a supermarket shelf, and it instantly recognises the product and adds it into your Amazon basket. A great piece of kit, and as a consumer, I think that's absolutely fantastic. If you're a retailer, what does that mean to you? Well, I think it means this. Mobile has happened now. It's too late to ignore it, and if you do ignore it, then it is absolutely a threat. But actually, if you embrace it, and you try stuff in mobile, then you can turn it to your advantage. A great example of someone that's done that is Waitrose. Waitrose, the week before last, took some journalists around one of their new stores in Swindon and showed them all the new tech there, which actually happens to be based really around the smartphone. So they're using iBeacons. One of our members at Flare have kindly shared with me an iBeacon. Here's one of theirs. They can make the battery in that last for 9 years. Obviously, it's pretty discreet, so you can, you know, I was going to say stick it wherever you like, but maybe not that. So you can put it somewhere. And for Waitrose, when you go through the door, you get a welcome message welcoming you to Waitrose if you've got the Waitrose app and you're happy to receive the messages. As you go around the store, you get offers that are relevant to you based on where you are in the supermarket. You can also do other cool stuff on the app, like request a sales assistant to come to you, and they know obviously where you are in the store. You can scan products as you go around so that you don't have to scan everything at the till. They're also looking at enabling mobile payments. So, you know, Waitrose really turned this mobility thing to their advantage. Another great example, I think, is Adidas in their Neo stores that they've got a few across Europe. They've done some brilliant stuff. They've got interactive windows where they've made the whole glass front of the store like a touchscreen, so you can touch the glass. There are mannequins that you can digital mannequins, you can drag them around, make them move. You can drag clothes and put them into a shopping bag on the window and actually then sync up your phone and they appear on your basket on your phone. So you just scan a QR code, type in a URL or tap on an NFC tag and sync your phone with the shop front. You can also go in store and text to change the colour of the lighting in the store. They've got social media mirrors that take a picture of you that you can upload to your social media profiles. So it's some great stuff, you know, another great example of a retailer embracing mobile and technology. And a great quote here from the CMO of Walgreens, like the US equivalent of Boots. Customers who interact with them online and in store spend 3 times as much each year. Add in mobile, and that becomes 6 times as much each year. So I think a pretty powerful example of, you know, actually the difference you can make when you actually add mobile into the mix. And I've shared a few examples of how you can make things interact with mobile. I thought I'd just quickly share this as well, because I think this is pretty interesting. And you know, you can use QR codes or NFC or whatever to make stuff interactive. This is connected paper from Ericsson. Let me play you a video of it. It actually almost seems a bit too hard to believe when you see it, but have a look and see what you think.
So how does this work then? This is a label, an ordinary label. And on top of it, you have the printing surface. On the back side or inside it, you have the electronics. In this case, I have a printed battery, I have a printed antenna, it could have been printed sensors, it could have also have been simple displays, and still we need a tiny little chip to do the processing. But this tiny little piece is then attachable to a can like that, a package like that, or it could even be on me if I would like to have it here. Let's use the soup can now to see what actually happens. The soup can is here on the shelf. I touch it. I have my device in my hand or in my pocket. The identity associated with the soup can is now transported through my body into the app here. The app does a lookup on the internet or the network. The information comes back. So there is no other information than a tiny little identity key.
So basically it uses the capacitance of your body to transmit something from a product to your phone, which, however it takes on, I don't know, but it's pretty amazing, I think, to see the way that kind of things are going and the new ways that you can start to look at to make stuff interactive. So we've had hopefully seen some examples of mobility and what that can mean and the opportunities and threats around that. And the other thing about this final 5 and the fact you've got your mobile with you all the time means there's a unique opportunity to mobilize stuff that was previously one way and make it 2-way and interactive, whether that's products or whether that's actually your above-the-line marketing campaigns. Obviously, we hear a lot about mobile and TV, and we've heard a lot about it today already. I saw this actually on Gogglebox just over a week ago that shows a fantastic example of how people react on their phones, first of all, to stuff they see on TV.
The thing I most want to see, don't take this the wrong way, you lot, I know you lot. I want to see diaphalia, a proper real case of diaphalia.
What's diaphalia?
Having 2 willies.
2? No way.
Really. So you have one normal.
2 what?
And then kind of underneath, you have a little
No way! Google that shit right now.
God. Oh, I'm really interested in that. 2 dicks.
No, we don't want...
So you can see how people turn to their mobile phones pretty quickly when they see stuff on TV they want to find out more about. Hopefully you won't have that kind of reaction with stuff you do with your brands. But a great example. So another example of mobile and TV was this campaign that happened in Australia, which Mindshare ran for Kia. Now I'm going to try and make this interactive, and I hope some of you have downloaded this app, because I'm going to get you to do a competition and see if you can beat me, and whoever gets a high score is going to win a prize. This works off of audio, so it's supposed to work in a small room with a TV and a phone. It's never been tried with 600 people. We couldn't test it with 600 people, so it might not work at all, but we'll try it anyway and see what happens. You're going to have to be quiet when it happens, but if you could get your phones out, if you've downloaded it, and open up the Kia Game On app, if you haven't registered, you can't actually register on it because the campaign's finished now, so you have to kind of skip the registration process. Hopefully there's some of you